Welcome to Flying the Coop, a quick announcement episode. Long story short, we're leaving Spotify. We're completely delisting the podcast from Spotify. If you are the 20% of our listeners that listen to us on Spotify, thank you very much for listening to us. We will be delisting on November 26th. So you're going to get one more episode from us if you're listening on Spotify on that platform. After that, no more episodes will come through and the podcast will be delisted. You can find us basically literally anywhere else you find podcasts. So if you want to know why are we leaving Spotify, stick around. We'll tell you why. Back in episode 5, we talked about a difficult decision framework that we use in our co-op, and the example that we had in it was Spotify. When we launched our podcast, we weren't quite sure if we wanted to distribute our podcast on Spotify because lots of reasons, but the main one on that one was the CEO had just donated like $60 million to an AI weapons company, and we were like, ooh, gross. We don't want to be attached to this. We made the decision to publish on Spotify because it is a huge platform to get listeners. Right now, 20% of our listeners come from Spotify. And we said that we would check back in a year to see, do we stay on? Or if Spotify blows up the moon, we need to look at it earlier. Well, friends, Spotify blew up the moon for us. The straw that broke the camel's back is that they're currently airing recruitment ads for ICE. There's a lot of other straws that $60 million into an AI weapons company. They're making AI slop with like crappy music. They pay the artists basically nothing. There's a lot of reasons why we're done with Spotify. Janelle and I both switched to Tidal for music a few months ago, and now we're just going to leave the platform wholesale. This is a hard decision for us, right? 20% of our listeners are on Spotify. We are a brand new baby podcast. Getting listeners is really important, but drawing lines in the sand is more important to us. To steal a phrase from Tarzan K, we have the privilege of choice, and so we have to act.
For anybody else out there who maybe also is doing podcasting or video editing or something, I want to let you know that we're also kicking Riverside to the curb. I was using that to produce all of the podcasts. It's awfully convenient. It's maybe the most popular one out there. It makes recording super easy. It is also founded and operated by IDF military and intelligence personnel. Thank you, Devin Price, for pointing me to that information. Knowing that, I can no longer in good conscience continue to use it. So I'm swapping over to Squadcast and to Script. Time will tell how that goes, but my heart certainly feels better using it. I want to add one more kind of personal thing about this whole experience, that I've found that by virtue of the podcast, I've gotten an amazing excuse to talk with people all over that I never would have gotten the opportunity to like go deep with before. And I get to see a lot of different ways that people are doing business differently and growing in ways that make sense to them. And it's causing a lot of personal transformation for me. Years ago, let's say 5 years ago, there's almost no way I would have made this decision, because I have learned from a very young age that business is business and business must grow, and you should do the things that allow it to grow the most. Why would you get in the way of that? And in part because of the podcast, in part maybe because I'm growing up. I'm in a different place now, and I'm realizing how important it is to exercise that privilege of choice when you have it. And it feels really powerful to be able to do that today. So in case anybody else is maybe where I was 5 years ago, I want to say that I see you, and that it's hard, and that what we want to do with our visible decision is to open a conversation with anybody who wants to have it. I don't hold individual consumers responsible for their decisions in the same way that I hold big corporations responsible for their decisions. So with you, dear listener, who is very important to us, this is an invitation to a conversation.
This little podcast of ours has gone further than we ever expected already. Deep thanks for listening to these two nerds talk to other nerds about ways to do things cool and different with humans at the forefront, which is a big reason why we are making the decision that we're making today. Yeah.
That's it.
So find us anywhere else but Spotify.
Yep.
That's the conclusion.
And thank you for listening. Flying the Coop is brought to you by Strangebirds, a strategic messaging co-op for businesses who care loudly. From websites to onboarding flows, launches to long-term strategy, if you want your brand, offers, and experience to tell the same story, we can help. Find us at strangebirds.land.